Oh, hi everyone. My name is Sadashiv and this is my submission for Sprint 17 vitalsync. And yeah, this sprint was about taking vitalsync from running on localhost to real production deployment, a live front end on Vercel, a live back end on Render, and a live Postgres database on Neon, right? All talking to each other securely over the public internet. So yes, this is our deployment on does vitalsync. This is the backend on Render. This is the database we deployed on Postgres. We connected to Postgres, right? Yeah, talking about the architecture again, we have Next.js on front end. We have Nest.js on the back end. We have Dart, role-based access, JWT authentication, DTOs, and something called as ORM, object relational mapping, right? So we use this to make our logic of the entire project or the backend to be, JPA standard based and to make it persistent. Right? That's the high level overview of it. Next comes the backend provisioning and coarse hardening. The backend is deployed on Render. Render is a proper node service with a start script, not as a serverless function. So Express style backend needs a persistent process, which is why Render fits better than Vercel for its half of the stack. Right. So if I just go to here, we should see that you should see our deployment was successful. And one thing I specifically hardened for production is CORS. Locally, it's easy to leave this wide open, but in production, the backend should only accept requests from real front-end URL, nothing to, nothing else. So we do have in the environment variables the, front-end URL as it accepts only requests from this URL. Same way we have it in the Vercel environment variable where we stored the backend's URL, right? So this is how we handle the CORS config. Also, if I try to show you in the code, we do have the cost handled properly over here, right? It gets it from the env. We do not store it or hard code it or pass it just like that. So that is one of the thing. Um, Even the env example has only placeholder values, so the real env never gets passed directly in our GitHub or it is not accessible directly. All my environment variables, the database URL, JWT secret, Gemini API key are migrated into renders and Vercel's environment. Of course, the major ones are always stored in the backend environment variables. We do not use any of these in the front end except the base URLs, right? So that's for the course thing. And all of these are live URLs, not local host links. So if I actually try to show you how really it is connected, let us register, right? We will register. Let me show you the table first. We refresh the neon table. Uh, we should see the entries count, right? It is 32, right? Not, we will keep that in mind. Let's see if it gets implemented when new, new doctor, let's say, and newd@gmail.com, and we create account. So now we should see that our database should be accepting the new value by incrementing it, right? So let us refresh it again. So this is where the new D just we register. We do have the time stored over here, I guess. Yes. So if I just expand it, so this is the exact field or column that we just updated, and the database got updated when we logged in. This shows that all the ORM mappings are working fine, and here's the new user persisted in NeonDB, the live Postgres database, confirming the full chain worked, live front end to live backend to live database, right? So we also have the AI feature, right? If I go to just patients and view records, we implemented the generate AI summary on the live side and the summary is rendering, right? So if I just go to any, let's say we go to some random patient and we want to generate summary, right? So this is done by using the Gemini API and Google Gemini, basically. And yeah, this is how our application or web app works fine. end-to-end tools and a live register action that I've just shown hitting the backend and persisting in database. This is a fully production deployed application, not a local host demo. Right. So, yep, I had fun working with this. Thank you for watching.